to Maroon Talk, the only segment dedicated for anything and everything UP Fighting Maroons. I'm Fimran, batch 2010 from UP Los Baños.
Sir Lance Bilhira, 2015 UP Manila and 2017 UP Diliman.
What's up, sir?
Yes, sir. It's been a minute.
It's been a while, everyone. What is up? How are you? How are y'all doing? So we talking about preseason. Yo,
Sir.
um, we can say now na preseason is done. Pinoy Liga, Phil Oil is done. Um, wala lang tayong ball out this year. But the crazy thing here, actually, Lance, if you think about it, even if we say if it's preseason, the season is way back till September pa.
Tagal pa eh.
Meron pa
Oo.
tayong gap na what, 2 months
Yes,
heading
sir.
into that preseason. So if you're gonna stick to that logic, analyze that point with my law student friend here, kumbaga, we can throw out preseason actually. So, kumbaga, what happened in preseason, as we call it, won't really be the reflection of how the teams will perform come UAAP season 87. Considering nga na ang layo pa ng start ng season 87, which is in September. Okay? Lance, am I correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah, yun nga. Time talaga is the main factor right now na we have a few months pa before the actual season starts. So what we see now, for sure, ang dami pa rin magbabago until the UAAP season starts. And like, yun nga, as you said yung pinost mo sa Facebook, sa Maroon Talk page na long way to go. So, eto, literal na long way to go kasi ang tagal pa talaga.
Correct,
So,
yeah. Oh, literally,
mm,
figuratively.
as much as good as well, talking about UP specifically, as good as we've been playing, you can't use it as a basis to determine what's gonna happen sa upcoming season. Lalo, a lot can happen in the next few months. Obviously a lot of changes, a lot of lineup changes, roster changes, and hopefully not. Pero players could get injured during the time, and yeah. So I mean, a lot can happen in a week. What more
In two
until
months.
September, di ba?
Yeah.
Oo, tagal pa eh.
Like August. Yeah, yeah. Oh.
Hmm.
Wow. Welcome
So
back to
yeah,
the show, man. Welcome back to the show, my friend. Lance is back.
yes sir. Glad to be here. Glad to be here.
And actually, if we're gonna talk about last time pala nagkita kami ni Lance, we were at the game ng first game ng
Hmm.
Pinoy, if we're not
Sa
mistaken, ng
Paco, sa Paco, yeah.
Paco Arena, no? So, that was against San Sebastian, our, if I'm not mistaken, first game back uh,
Yeah, that's about
in public, no? So, that was late April or early May, parang
yeah,
ganun.
probably a month and a half ago.
Oo,
Tagal
ganun.
na rin.
So, if you think about that as well, ang dami na rin nangyari after that game when it all started, the tournament started, no? So, looking back then and what we have now with all the other teams, iba na. Let's try to run it down. Okay, let's try to run it down per team, at least per UAP team, to just get a glimpse of the state of the UAP. Again, welcome back to SO2, our
Pre-zone,
pre-season SO2.
pre-zone. Yes, sir.
Again, let us know if you guys are watching this. Let us know what you guys think as well on what we're gonna say and share your thoughts as well in the comments below. All right. So I'm gonna show you this graphic, everyone. Again, sinend lang sa akin din to. So credits to the owner of this Excel file summary, whoever made this. At least this is for Phil Oil. Summarizing the stats of the pretty basic stats of each UAAP team. So we're gonna flash it here. So let's run it down. No, so starting from the bottom, Ateneo with no win at all in both tournaments. But again, yung kinalaban natin Ateneo, dude, That was a
Medyo muntikan pa tayo.
close game. That was a close game, okay? So talking about Ateneo now, it's a totally different team from the previous years. Kumbaga, parang nagsimula si Coach Tab ulit back in 2016. Hindi nagkakamali. Hindi naman. I think this is the worst team compared to 2016. 2016, 2015. Kaya ba siya pumasok? 2016 yata. So, this is probably the worst team he's ever handled ever since he came into Ateneo. Kasi nga, pre-season pa lang wala pang panalo. Solely basing it from there. No? So, they lost key players. They have no identity. If we call it that. I mean, nag-usap tayo dito in the most objective way we can, no? But if you guys think otherwise, let us know. If you think we're lying about Ateneo, let us know. But this is how we see it. But again, I have your veterans, Chris Kun, si Kitevis, we can say si Espinosa is up there as well. But aside from that, that's all they have. So this is the growing pains, I guess, that there's witnessing now, and we'll see what I mean. Again, there's still months left to go in season 87, and they have all the time in the world to improve their lineup. And malay natin, unless they secure someone strong or kung sino man, a lot can happen for Ateneo. Lance, what do you think?
Yeah, sinabi mo na rin regarding Ateneo na it's pretty much an identity problem right now, especially given yung mga umalis sa team, mga graduate na. And like you could tell from last year pa lang, parang ang napansin kong pinaka-problem na hanggang ngayon during the preseason, ang pinaka-problem talaga is who do you go to? Like when everybody's missing shots, who do you go to sa na bibigay mo sa kanya yung bola and you're gonna say, okay, ikaw na muna, gawa ka muna, di makagawa yung team, ikaw muna. Na somebody to keep the team from spiraling. And especially towards the end of a game na pag close game and wala kang time, especially sa amateur system of amateur basketball where you can't call a timeout ng basta-basta lang, unlike sa NBA. Kasi diba sa amateur, you can only call timeouts during a dead ball. So, for example, close game, walang nangyayaring dead ball and wala kang play na napag-agrihan. Yun yung nakikita kong kulang sa Ateneo ngayon na who do you give the ball to at the end of the game? Na which was evident na I think Phil Oil, yung Facebook page ng Phil Oil, I think they posted a video of yung parang last 30 seconds or so ng game nila. I think that was against or UE or Letran. Yun yung naalala ko. Pero there was that game that they were down 2 and they had multiple attempts na parang alam mo parang yeah, they were good shots when you think about it, pero when you're talking about it in the end game scenario, parang that's not really the shot you want. Na kita mong nalilito sila sinong gagawa sa moment na to and all. And it was unfortunate lang din na yung pinaka last attempt nila was a point blank miss by Kun. No hate, but it was an unfortunate point blank miss by Chris Kun. And like yeah, and kung pansin mo, parang swerte lang din na napunta sa position na yun. It wasn't a shot opportunity that was created by them. No, it just so happened that Chris Kun was there, had the opportunity, and unfortunately missed the shot. Going back to my point, who's the guy you give the ball to at the end of the game? Who's gonna create na when there's no play set, kumbaga. Kumbaga, for example sa atin, let's go for example sa atin, si Maymay. Team spiraling out, nobody's making shots. Okay, bigay mo na kay Maymay, siya na muna bala. He's gonna call a pick and roll or he's gonna call an ISO. And we live with whatever happens. Yun yung nakikita kong kulang sa atin right now, which is evident na ang dami nilang close games. So, yeah.
When Lance was saying multiple, that was like at least 4 attempts that they had. They had chance.
In
Done.
30 seconds. 30 seconds yun.
That and to back everything that we're saying, if you look at this graphic, Ateneo is last in terms of field goal percentage. They are seventh in points scored, and they are also seventh in points allowed. So a totally different identity, as we say nga, from the previous seasons. No? So let's leave it at that. So the difference now here is Ateneo has nowhere to go but up in the coming months and heading into season 87. Okay, moving forward, let's talk about Adamson. The Adamson Falcons. Okay, so okay, in a nutshell, ang masasabi ko dito sa Adamson team na to is this is how they've been looking like since season 86. Because season 86, wala na si Jerome. He was there in the lineup but wala na siya sa court. So, again, lumalabas ulit dito yung pag pagka-rely nila sa Jerome Lastimosa solely. So again, similar to Ateneo, I guess we could say as well na both teams don't have yet that go-to guy na talagang magdadala sa kanila. Siguro they have a leader on the court with their si Manzano, sino yung point guard nila? Sila sa Bandal, if they're still there, yeah. But it's what we see. They are seventh in the league, at least in the bracket ng UAAP. And yeah, yun lang yun eh. Well, wala si Montebon. Wala pa ata siya, di pa siya yata naglaro. Si Eli Ramos got significant playing time, but he's kind of shaky, So if he gets to
Need some
improve,
polishing.
come 87, that's gonna be big. Go ahead, Lance. What do you think about Adamson? If you noticed any.
Yeah, I agree. I agree na parang in a way naging consistent sila mula nung season 86 na they were pretty much pero ayun nga, similar to Ateneo na part of the they're both these two teams at least pretty much if hindi pa nagsa-start nasa rebuild process na sila if you to put it in some way na nag-rebuild na sila trying to form a different form, trying to find a new identity na given na wala na yung star players from their successful seasons and ayun nga definitely hard to watch it na dahil umalis na yung for example sa Adamson dahil wala na si Jerome pretty it's just a adjustment period that every team has to go through na again nowhere to go but up for them so hoping the younger players, the more talented players are given the opportunity to show what they're capable of, and especially in si Montebon, who was definitely someone who really surprised me last season na broken ball. So and as in shades, not shades of Terence Romeo. Nung una ko siyang napanood, Terence Romeo agad naisip ko. So yeah, given hopefully the adjustment period for them goes rather smoothly and yeah I'm excited to see din yung younger players nila on how they decide to what they're gonna do to prove themselves and all.
So if you talk about that again, they are last in points scored. Adamson is also one of the lowest in terms of sorry. In terms of points allowed, medyo okay sila. Actually, they're number 1, 2.
Yeah.
In terms of points allowed. So at least the defense is there. The problem is, yun nga, we're gonna boil down to who's gonna score for them. So yun yung nawawala sa kanila, at least in preseason. So at least the defense is there. So again, unless they get to sign or commit someone who's really, really a game changer for them, we're gonna be seeing a different Adams outside in 87. Up next, the NU Bulldogs. Oh, you know what? For me, sa akin personally, if you talk about NU, well, sige, NU Phil Oil. Pinoy League is a different thing. If you talk about NU Phil Oil, parang for me, they're underachieving. Because if you look at this, they're only sixth in the standings with middle in terms of average points in the 70s. Tapos they are number one in terms of points allowed. So they're number one in defense. If in general, talking about this Philoil tournament. Tapos yun. Um see, they lost Ian Baklaan. Pero if you think about it, if we're gonna isolate that point, even when Kian Baklaan was with NU, parang hindi rin siya gano'n ka-game changer nung nasa NU pa siya. Parang di lumalabas yung laro niya nung nasa NU pa siya. Parang nitong lumipat siya ng Lasal, then get to see him play sa Pinoy Liga. Parang dun, oy, ito yung kilala nating Kian Baklaan eh. Parang gano'n yung nakikita ko Ewan ko sa inyo. Pero that's why I say na they're underperforming. Kasi again, they have a plethora of guards. So kaya siguro hindi lumalabas yung totoong laro. Kasi you have Enriquez, Humamoy, and Baklaan din. So by the way I see it, the bulk of the scoring comes from the forwards. Sila Figueroa, sila Manansala, sila Yu, in terms of scoring. But if you think about it, dapat sa guards din, yung thinking about the caliber of their guards, parang sila dapat yung ano ng scoring load with that type of talent with their guard line. That's why I'm saying na parang they're underperforming. Both, kahit sabihin natin season 86, all the way to what we're seeing now. But then again, in terms of Pinoy Liga, they reach the finals. But pagdating sa Phil Oil, kung kailan UAAP teams na yung kailangan mo, which in dapat mag-show up ka na, medyo iba yung kwento. Lance, what do you think for NU?
Yeah, definitely. I think they finished 3-4 sa sa Phil Oil. 3-4 ata yung nila, and yeah, I could definitely say na underachieving because they lost to Adamson. Sino pa? They lost to Adamson.
UP, siyempre.
They lost to UP. Yeah, he lost to UP, used to NU.
ST din.
Pero if you look at how they won, one notable one is yung against FEU, 91-59. They pretty much decimated FEU. Not sure if I personally didn't watch this game, so I don't know if kulang ba yung tao sa FEU, if may na-injure ba or anything. Pero I mean, and given you finish on FEU na they were third, I think they finished third or fourth sa Phil Oil. Na sila ata yung nakalaban natin ng semis ng Phil Oil. It was at the game before. Kailan ba natin nakalaban? Basta nakalaban natin FU at sa playoff bracket.
The last game.
The last game pa. Yeah. The last game. So yeah, like definitely expected better from NU. And going to your point about the scoring load being carried pretty much by the forward, by people in the front court, yung forwards nila. And given like for example, if NBA draft stock yung or for example, if you compare, it's an idea ng draft stock, the guards that they have, they're right there on top. You expect them to be top. They are top recruits. If they're able to play the game that we expect from them, the game that we know that they're capable of, pag tinabi mo yun pag sinama mo pa yun sa production ng big men nila, they're a scary team na unfortunately hindi lang nangyayari na yun nga, they don't get to produce as much compared to yung big men. And but then again, ano naman, di naman tayo yung coach nila. So that's their system. They see something in that system na ano, so you do you na hopefully it works out.
Oh,
So yeah.
and this is how we see it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
parang kain nyo pa eh. Hindi ito yung ano eh.
basta kami lang, spectator lang naman
Oo.
kami. Nanonood lang naman kami. So,
Considering the talent of their coaching staff.
yeah, and the coaching
So,
staff
pero,
too.
diba, this is how we see it eh. I'm sure you guys are frustrated as well with how the team is performing. Kasi mas kilala nyo nga dapat yung players nyo eh. So, but yan, ito yung nakita namin. So, talking about NU, they are up there when it comes to scoring. In terms of free throw, yeah, okay. Nothing else striking there. But okay, another key point as well that we should point out. They were able to acquire the commitment of Tebol Garcia and Vince Reyes, UAP Junior champions from the Adamson Baby Falcons. And yet, again, we felt no impact, at least in the preseason, coming from those two players. So, again, let's just leave it at that. We're just raising the points here. We're just raising the points. But again, this is how we see the Bulldogs na we can't deny, they can't deny as well na they are loaded with talent as well. And they can't come up and be satisfied with a sixth place finish in the Field Oil tournament or in any tournament at that. But then again, they reached the finals ng Pinoy Liga and they almost beat Lasal as well. So hopefully that gets to be translated in the other games na they get to face UAP teams.
Ano rin naman eh. Preseason, like, kaya sinabi ni Francis sa post-game press conference nila na preseason lang naman to eh. So,
Yep.
Like, ako, tingin ko, whatever, nag-experiment pa rin yung ibang team eh.
Yeah.
Fixing it up, seeing who works best with who, and who produces less pag andito yung player na to, ganun. So,
Yes.
yeah, like us, talking about yung preseason, the tournament itself, definitely not the finish. They finished lower than expected. I expected at least. Pero looking at the bigger picture, yun nga. Obviously, given the quality of their coaching staff, the level of expertise, they're probably experimenting din na come UAP time, they'll probably figure it out din.
Or baka may mga tinatago pa, di ba? Baka may tinatago pa.
Yeah. Pagdating nung time na yun, ayun nga, what matters na lang talaga is who scores more. Who scores more points.
When it matters most. But then again, okay, sorry talking about this. They are number 1 in points allowed. 64 points. So the defense is there. Okay, so that's NU for you guys. Okay, moving on. Let us talk about the UST Rowling Tigers. Yo. Personally, I like how UST has been playing. The fight is back. Itong upper bracket, upper half of the standings, medyo exciting na. So UST with Padrigao in, with so I like how their FSA has been playing. I forgot the name, but starts with letter T. Hindi pa rin ata sure kung siya yung magiging final FSA. But that dude can work. His motor is great. Siguro something that they were missing kasi nga the FSA they had the past 2 seasons wala naman talaga. But now having that inside presence both on defense and in offense, really helping them a lot. Really helping Nick Cabanero out a lot. Taking off the load defensively and offensively. So yeah, liking what I see from UST right now. How about you, my friends from UST?
Yes, sir. Una sa lahat, go Uste. Yeah. Pa lang, preseason pa, doon mo makikita kagad yung why UST is slowly working their way back into, hindi naman relevance, contention is a better term, slowly working their back to contention. I don't expect them to be there this UAP, but again, you never know. Pero ako, at least right now, I don't expect them to be up there yet, but they're on their way. Especially with the preseason additions, notably, pinaka-notable talaga doon, the man, the myth, the legend, Forsky Padrigao. Siyempre, okay, objective naman tayo dito. This is just talking ball. Issues aside, he is a point guard talaga si Forsky, na you'd want him on your team. He's the kind of guy na kaya niyang ikalma yung team. Yung tipong iisipin mo, ay, naman to, bagal naman ito maglaro. Pero yun pala, and he knows what's happening on the court, he knows where everybody is, which is definitely a big help, given the talent that Nick Cabanero has. That they really needed that sa past few seasons. Past few seasons, give the ball to Nick, gawa ka na, ikaw na bahala. Anong gagawin ng kalabang team? Put their best defender on Nick. Wala na. Aasa na lang sa sana pumasok yung contested shot. Pero now na you have Forsky running side by side with Nick, and sino nga si Paranada. They have Paranada pa.
And the other, may isa pa I forgot the name. Parang Phil-Am, yung forgot the name. But then, yeah, sige.
Yan, tsaka si Bricks, they have a big man, I forgot, from USD High School. Bricks yung first name, I forgot his last name. Pero Bricks yung first name. He really, really big dude. Nakita ko siya sa campus one time. Huge dude.
Si Pero, yeah. Versosa ba? Versosa.
Yeah, Bricks Versosa, oo. Yung nga lang, I don't think he got to play much sa Phil Oil, pero watch out pag nagka-minutes na yun. At pag nag-ripen na yun.
Leyland yun.
Yeah. So, yeah. Yung additions that they were, obviously, now na mas okay, mali yung mas okay, pero medyo nag-improve na talaga yung yung mga backer nila. Recruitment has definitely improved. Kita mo naman, big names yung nakuha nila. And given na you had one guy na ganun yung caliber, kaya biglang 3-4 na sila. Again, like I said, as of now, I don't expect them to compete sa Final Four yet. But in come 2 years, 3 years tops, feeling ko makakabalik din sila. And hope then time will tell na if they mature din as players, na lahat sila mga young players pa. So looking forward into UST, especially sana maganda yung magiging UP UST matchup, kasi malamang manunood daw niyan.
Yeah, I mean, okay, if you look at it this way, si Padrigao, you see how he's playing in Phil Oil in Pinoy Liga. Magaling, di ba? Yun yung kinuha. Yun yung hindi mo kinuha. Yun yung nawala from the Ateneo team that we're seeing right now. Ganun kalaki yung impact na hinahanap ng Ateneo when it came to losing a Forsky Padrigao. So ganun sila kapilay ngayon. Kumbaga, kung hindi mo tinanggal si Padrigao dun sa team ng Ateneo, hindi ganun ang magiging performance ng Ateneo in both 86 and this preseason. No? So ganun ka. Kumbaga, he's just reminding all of us now how what he brings to the table. No? So again, it's nice to see UST coming back in. Kumbaga, yung laban is back. The past 2 years sobrang wala talaga. But then now, manggugulo na yan sa standings ng UAP. So
yeah, di ako makagulat kung top teams, UP, Lasal, probably FEU. Wag kang makagulat if isa sa mga yun, mas steal nila yung panalo dun. Diba?
Yeah.
Like,
We have
they're that kind of team. They're that wild card team na mataas chance maging factor sila sa standings mismo. Na they're gonna have that effect.
UST finished 5th. Now we head on over to UE. 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 The past siguro since 85, 85, we've been seeing the upward trend at least of the UE Red Warriors when it comes to performances. And I think this preseason and heading into 87, they are at their highest compared since 84. Momoe has been getting the bulk of the load. Then yung bago nila, si Abate, is also there bringing in the point guard duties, I think. Together with, who's this? Si Cruz Dumont also doing the scoring load there. So again, I would say similar to NU. Similar to NU, they're quite, para sa akin, parang kaya pa nilang umano eh. But the difference here is NU has more experience and more chemistry. Kasi mas matagal lang sila magkakasama. Compared dito sa UE na parang bago pa lang silang, yung pag-gel na is still not there. But the talent is there. The problem is how they get to execute down the stretch. If you remember correctly, they almost beat LaSalle convincingly. They were supposed to beat LaSalle convincingly in Phil Oil. They were up by like, I think 10-ish, 9, heading into the final 2 minutes of that game. But akala ko sure win na. Apparently not. Then KQ happened. And so I would say typical UE story, at least for the past few seasons. So at least sa ngayon, UE is not really exciting me yet. But I know they are capable of doing so. I just have to see more of them actually executing and getting the wins. No, so kasi we know kaya nila eh. Ngayon, we are aware na posible. Comparing it to UST, NU, ganyan. Medyo same level na sila eh. But we have to see it get proven game in and game out. Yun yung missing piece. So medyo iffy sila sa akin. Lance, what do you think about UE?
Yeah. I mean, past few years din, definitely not yung not as successful as they probably wanted, pero sila yung like consistently they've been that team na nanggugulo ng standings. If I remember yung pinaka nanggulo sila was yung year nag-champion ata. I think the year after natin mag-champion.
After.
The year we lost to I remember, I think last game nila was LaSalle. And dahil natalo na yung LaSalle, hindi nakapasok LaSalle sa Final Four. I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
If tama na alam ko. Pero yeah. Like yeah, they've been that consistently past few years. Sila yung team na yun na nanggugulo sa standings. And yun nga, can't be too happy na yun yung naging ceiling mo the past few years. So hopefully they find a way to make the system work better. And like kasi right now parang ang pinaka threat pa rin talaga sa nila talaga si Momoe.
Yep.
Especially with the departure of Ray Remoga na yung season na nag-pop off siya and wala na. I mean, nag-transfer siya right after. So and you can only go so far if magre-rely ka sa FSA mo na yeah, Momo is putting up MVP now. He's an MVP candidate, pero you can only go so far kung siya lang yung consistent player mo. So yeah, hope to see better games.
Yeah, that's
kasi
insane.
Si ano rin eh. Si Cruz Dumont, baller din yun eh.
Uh-huh.
He's a guy you can give the ball to in a close game at the end of a close game. Pero yun nga, consistency talaga yung magiging determining factor din on UE success.
Yeah. Yun nga, also, we can't discount the fact that yung personnel nila has been going on and off the past few seasons. So yun nga, that's how we say na yung chemistry nila is something that they have to work on heading into 87. No? So that's UE for you guys. So let's see if they get to sustain their momentum, their improvement, or it goes somewhere else. Heading into one of the final four contenders for Phil Oil, which I'm very happy as well about seeing them, the fight in them again. The FEU Tamaraws. They are back, yo. And okay, first of all, if you guys have been reading the news, apparently FU has been getting commitments while the tournament was going on. So yung lineup nila come 87 could be totally different from what we saw in Phil Oil. Kasi nga parang lahat nung kinuha nila is eligible for 87. Though I'm not familiar with the names na kinuha nila, but I saw na medyo mga parang 5 ata yun. So let's see what happens when it comes to 87 for the FU Tamaraws. But then again, nice seeing Joric Bautista, John Ray Pasaol, and VJ Pre heading that lineup in the preseason. When I was, nung pinapanood ko yung season 85 finals ng juniors, Adamson FEU, VJ Pre was one of the main men of the BB Tamaraws. Yung laro niya was quite different from what we see now. Because he is a big man in the juniors. And heading into the seniors, being a big man, mauubos pala oras natin. Sige, lansipat muna tayo. To your
Sige.
right. His ranks as a big in the juniors. Usually may adjustment yan eh. But by how we see it, parang sanay na sanay siyang makalaban ng mas malalaki pang players sa kanya. No? So, very promising preseason for BJ Pre and the rest of the FEU Tamaraws. Alforque is playing great. Again, Bautista is playing great. Si Mo Konate, if you guys remember, back in Ball Out, he was with us in UP. No? So, getting that confirmation nga na siya yun, it's nice to see na he's getting significant minutes in FEU. And I think his defensive presence is really helping them out a lot in terms of the effectivity of their defense. So again, it's nice to see FEU back being competitive and having a promising team, just like how UST is playing now in the UAP. Ulats.
Yeah. FU definitely talking history, known siya na madalas Final Four contender, and with the improvements that have come, especially now na si Konate na they have solid FSA with you right now na easily a 15 to 20 rebound kaya game. That's definitely exciting for FU fans na this could be the year na malaki magiging impact sa Final Four. And a personal favorite din, like among players outside of UP and UST, Joric Bautista, sobrang saya talaga panoorin niya na he's that modern type of guard na very capable of uh, creating for himself. He's capable of easily also creating. He's also very capable of creating for others, and he has that 2 to 3 steps from the 3 point line kind of range. Na you can easily expect at least like 2 to 3 3 pointers per game from him. So yeah, exciting season. Like again, as what we've seen so far, definitely exciting for FU and strong feeling na they're only gonna improve more pa until come the UAP season.
Sana, ano. And also, noting na Sean Chambers is their new coach. And
Mm.
so far, it's doing good for them. No? So again, hopefully the recruits also complement the existing team and yeah, hopefully get them back to the final four where they belong. Right? Okay, let's talk about the top two teams in the UAP. Siyempre, Lasal. Lasal, the Lasal Green Archers are sila pa rin naman to eh. Sila pa rin to. The core is still intact. The only big problem they have is their playmaker. Parang yun yung malaking pilay nila ngayon eh. Having a strong point guard to facilitate all the talent that they have in that team. Again, they still are deep. Actually, they could be the deepest team in the UAP still. Sa dami ng player nila, yung hati nga ng Pinoy Liga at Phil Oil is kind of confusing kasi parang both teams can be their UAP lineups. So if we think about it, we have actually no idea how they're gonna look like come season 87 sa dami ng players na pwedeng ipasok nila sa lineup. And one striking thing here as well, now we should note, is that when we played them in the final, when UP played them in the final, wala si Mike Phillips, wala si Joshua David dun sa lineup nila na yun. So again, we cannot deny na those two players really gave significant impact back in season 87, especially in the UAP finals. So talking about Lasal, most probably it's still going to be UP and Lasal when it comes to the top two teams at the end of season 87. Objectively speaking again. Kasi ano ba, saan ba natalo ang Lasal? Sa ano lang naman, sa UP lang din eh. In
Mm.
in
Yeah.
all games. And Phil Oil dominated Phil Oil. Wala, yun eh. Austria's playing good. Policarpius is playing good. Of course, you all know Kevin Cambao. Agonane, lumalabas na yung laro ni Agonane. Quite different from what we saw early on in the preseason. But the latter half, medyo, yun na yung lumalabas na yung ano niya, yung contribution niya to the team and his impact on defense as well. Who else? Yun nga eh. Tinatago nila yung combination with Joshua David and Mike Phillips in the mix to keep everyone guessing. So, but then again, what we see is that they are missing a legit playmaker to make everyone look good. Lance, what do you think?
Yes. That really on paper everybody's talented sa Lasal na arguably nga deepest team. Probably even deeper than UP, arguably. Pero yun nga, it's a glaring problem na very evident kahit nung netong final game ng Phil Oil, yung tournament ng Phil Oil. It was a glaring problem on who's the guy to set things up on offense for kasi on defense they're good, they're super good. Na very evident siya nung game na yun na sino yung magiging playmaker nila. Especially given na yung like in my opinion, yung pinaka playmaker nila in Joshua David, at least ever since the pagka-graduate ni Evanelli and Mark Nonoy, si Joshua David yung pinaka he's the best playmaker among them as of now. Dahil wala siya sa lineup nung last game nila, sobrang kita mo yung uh, yun yung butas ng, at least as of now, yun yung butas ng Lasal na who's the guy to bring the ball down, who's the guy to set up. Literally the four other guys were all very capable of scoring. Na if na panood niyo yung final game, yung UP Lasal game, there were stretches na ang pinapaset up nila ay either si Policarpio or si KQ. Pero at the end of the day, sila rin yung gagawa sa offense mo. So yeah, that could only take you so far na sila yung magsiset up, sila rin yung magsuscore. At the end of the day, may ma-reach din silang limit na you have to have that guy who can look for others first. And right now,
Focus on that role.
Yeah, parang kumbaga pass first. The pass first guy, the guy who's looking to get the other four guys to score. Looking to create opportunities for them na secondary lang sa kanya yung siya yung makascore. Yun yung nakikita kong butas ng Lasal right now, pero they're still a really strong team, pero yun nga, if teams find a way to take advantage of that yung pagkukulang na yun, which yung kita mo sa again, going back to the game the other day, that's how you became back. Nakita mo yung nahirapan sila at times na pagbababa yung bola, sobrang kumbaga how do I say this? Because they fielded the guy na si Ramiro, I think was his last name, number 11, which if tama yung narinig ko ay one and done player siya for the upcoming season, probably if maline up man siya. Like siya yung pinaka point guard nila that day, pero kita mo naman na you can see the way he moves, the way he brought the ball down, again, nothing against him, pero hindi yun yung natural position niya, na hindi siya yung natural na point guard, na mas pa rin siya, mas shooting guard pa rin yung galaw niya, mas create for me yung galaw niya, if you to put it some way. And yeah, that's one of the factors kung paano nakapag-comeback yung UP nun, na bringing down the ball, parang kumbaga parang walang conviction. If I can't articulate it properly, pero parang yun yung pinaka naisip kong term, na walang conviction, na like yung mga nagbababa ng bola, hindi siya yung talaga point guard, kumbaga, na compare it to guys like Maymay, Fortsky, Steve Nash Enriquez.
Yeah.
Na kita mong they bring the ball down to run the offense, not to create for themselves. They bring the ball down to run the offense, na kita mong yun yung wala sa kanila, na kasi guys like KQ, na alam naman natin yung passing prowess ni KQ. Siya yung Jokic ng Pilipinas eh. Pero yun yung passing na nagaganap sa half court lang. Not
He can
saying
do
na
it for
hindi
40
siya capable.
minutes. You can't rely on him to do that.
Yeah.
So,
Na parang
he can do it, but why would you limit him?
Exactly. Oh. Tsaka KQ, sa size niya, sa talent niya, you don't want him to be the guy focusing on creating for others. As much as capable as he is, as great as he is in doing so, you want KQ to have that freedom on offense, na I don't have to create for you right now, ako muna. Kasi may ibang gagawa nun. Pero right now, they don't have that. Na, yun nga. It's a glaring weakness at this point. Na, again, a lot can happen until the start of the season. They might get a point guard sometime, another one and done probably, pero yun nga, only time will tell.
And for sure, they know that is also their problem. And
yes, definitely.
But then again, if you look at their lineup, meron pa yun yung Dungo, meron pa yung Sigan, yung Alyan nga, hindi pa na unleash kumbaga. But then they have yung Gaspay, yung Rubico.
Mm.
I mean, these are not no ano to, hindi sila kinuha lang for no reason.
Di sila basta-basta ng player. Oh.
They can play. So
Mm.
again, if we get to see some surprises to once one season 87 comes along from Lasal, again, that's how we say na they could be the deepest team in the league right now.
Mm.
So
Lalo, everybody there, everybody on their team na, like, their role specifically, kayang-kaya nila. Like, yung second unit center nila, si Cortez, Rayland Cortez ata yung pangalan niya.
Raven.
So, Raven, sorry. Ang ganda ng pinapakita niya. He's an inside presence na not as big as an FSA, pero he's capable of bringing that same presence, that same rebounding, na medyo slow on his feet, pero he has a lot of time to work on that. Yeah, every player on their team is capable of doing what they are capable, what they're supposed to do. Na yun nga, ang kulang lang talaga nila ay that playmaker, that point guard to run your offense.
Yeah, they also have that Swiss Army knife in Abadam, where he could be really effective. He has the potential to explode in any game. So
Yes. Kaya
both
rin, si CJ Austria rin.
Isa pa.
Dati ang tawag ko sa kanya Dillon Brooks ng Lasal na taga pikon lang ng kalaban. Kasi nung time ako lang ang akin lang. Nung time na yun hindi pa siya yung guy na you'd rely on offense. Yeah, he'll make a big shot here and there. Pero now kaya niyang maging like, for example, injured si KQ this game, he can be that one of those guys to fill in sa scoring load at least. Na yun nga dati tingin ko taga pang-asar lang talaga sa kalaban, pero ngayon pang-asar na nga nakaka-score pa.
Yeah.
So lalo nakakapikon.
Correct.
So yeah.
So yeah, talagang impactful every player if you could see in that Lasal lineup. So yeah, it's gonna be hard, but if they repeat, it's very possible with the talent that they have. No? So again, watch out for Lasal. Okay, coming up, of course, our UP Fighting Maroons. How do we begin? Sige, talk about the stats. We are number 1 in terms of points scored in 80.6 points per game. This is far. Hindi naman. Tayo lang umabot na 80. Lasal is at second at 78. But one good thing here, comparing us versus Lasal, is that we allowed way fewer points compared to they did. We allowed 69.6 points only, and Lasal scored 76. Allowed 76 points while scoring 78. So we have an 11-point difference in terms of scoring when it comes to our wins, when it comes to our games in the preseason. Also, free throw percentage. Holy shit. We are number 1 at 70.9% at least for Phil Oil. Quite uncharacteristic, if we may, the past
in a good way.
84, oo. Diba? Hindi sanay na number 1 tayo sa free throws, but very good. We are tied at second in terms of rebounding, with Lasal leading at 42, us at 39, also UST at 39. So at least here, talagang I would say ramdam natin yung pagkawala ni Malik Diouf in terms of our rebounding stats. So ramdam talaga. But what's good here again is that we have Sean Alter, Gani Stevens, Dikachi Udodo to choose from in terms of our front court lineup, our centers at that. Okay? So yun yung at least the stats, just to get everyone into a an objective picture coming into describing how UP has performed in the preseason. Okay. Now, if we dissect this preseason for UP, it's gonna be quite hard. There were instances na hati yung team. There were instances na most na naglaro ay hindi actually core ng 87. So there were instances na limited yung playing time na ito. But so marami experimentation at that. That's what I'm trying to say here. So, but then again, we cannot deny that we won every game in the preseason. But then again, coming back to our point earlier na the preseason is way different from 87. Kasi nga, tingnan niyo naman, nahirapan tayo manalo against Ateneo in Phil Oil. Nahirapan tayo manalo against Lasal, of course, in Phil Oil. If we were to put it bluntly, we actually could have lost that final versus Lasal. Saan ba tayo nahirapan? Was it FEU? Yung sa banggit mo kanina, di ba? FEU.
FEU. Yeah.
So,
UST, muntik na mahabol yung, they were up 15.
Oo, tama. UST rin.
Minutes, nahabol pa eh. Up to 3 ata. 3 or 5.
Yes.
Pero, yung muntikan din tayo dun. Cardiac UP din tayo dun.
So, yun. Kita natin yung, di ba? Kita natin yung possibilities na mangyayari when we face UAP teams in the season. Kasi again, it's gonna be a different story when it comes to the in-season games. Okay, but of course, syempre, meron tayong improvements na nakikita. But we cannot be satisfied with this type of performance with how the UP Fighting Mans have been playing. Us, as UP fans, to those who are listening, to those who are watching this as a UP fan, we cannot be satisfied and automatically translate this championship in Phil Oil to a championship in 87. Similar to how it was in 86, in 85. Wala. Again, it's nice to see how at least the dynamics of the team itong preseason, but hindi pa pwede improve. Look at that. Perfect example. Look at that first half versus Lasal nung final. Sobrang sama nung field goal percentage. Sobrang sama nung turnovers, I would say as well. Sobrang sama nung depensa. Kasi nga, lalo the score spoke for itself. We were down big. We were down 20 at the half versus Lasal at that final. So, I'm sure Coach Gold was not a happy person at all heading to the dugout at halftime. So, yeah, I can go on and on, but I'll let Lance do it first. So, Lance, what do you think about UP early on?
Yeah. Again, we didn't lose any game sa preseason, pero and at the end of the day, these preseason games are just normal games that we're playing. Yeah, other than for entertainment purposes, for the purpose then of getting to know other teams, getting to see what the players are fielding, the systems they run. And at the end of the day, what matters pa rin is how we play sa UAP season, the mismong season. And yeah, even the final game, sabi nga ni Francis, just another game na they're just thankful na nanalo sila. And as at the end of the day, pinaka-goal pa rin talaga yung championship sa UAP. Pero at least sa mga games na napanood ko, magpa-live man or live stream, pinaka napansin ko talaga is they're all playing with a really good energy. Everybody's got a bounce in their step na we can tell they're excited to play every game. Na pretty much yung pinaka nag drop down ng their energy is yung first half ng final game na very evident naman na lahat naman tayo, tao lang naman tayo. So even the pros get down sometimes when their shots are not falling. Pero yun yung pinaka napansin kong and one notable stat dito sa yung Excel file. We play a similar style to Lasal na we run it when we can. We play fast when we can. Pero if kailangan i-slow down natin. Pero more times than not, mabilis yung play. And given that style of basketball, given na you devote less time to making decisions na you make the decision on the spot na ito pwede to. Gawin natin to. Fast offense. That kind of style is inevitable na mag-lead into turnovers every now and then. The notable stat sa Excel file sa table na to, 14.5 turnovers ang average ng UP per game compared to LaSalle's 20. Na six turnovers.
Okay.
Six turnovers in difference natin with a team that plays pretty much the same style as us. 6 turnovers. Isipin mo kung makatig 2 points ka dyan, 12 points ka agad yan. Na ang 12 points napakahirap habulin yan. Napakahirap habulin yan if within those six turnovers na difference with the 20 turnovers of LaSalle. 2 points per turnover. Sabihin nating 2 possessions na hindi ka naka-convert. That's still an 8-point advantage you have sa turnovers pa lang. So that's a very good stat to have given the style of offense we play. Na turnovers are inevitable, but we were able to take care of the rock this Phil Oil preseason tournament. So yeah, yun yung pinaka nag-stand out sa akin sa stats nila so far.
Talking about stats, we have another table coming up. Shout out to you, Ate Che, for bringing this
Yes, sir.
Also to the ones who are creating these tables, no? So shout out to you guys again. Credit to you guys. This is actually the full summary of stats per player for the UP Fighting Maroons in Phil Oil. So if you're gonna look at this, our leading scorer for Phil Oil was none other than Francis Lopez with 12 points per game. He played all 10 games, averaging 12 with a 43% field goal percentage. At that, with a 76% free throw percentage. In terms of three-pointers, keep on shooting, Francis. You'll get there.
Yes, sir.
Tapos up next. Wait up. Right. Up next, the next leading scorer, Maymay, JD Agulangan with 11, our point guard, our vet, our leader on the floor with a 46% field goal percentage, 26 from downtown. Average assist of 5 assists per game with an average turnover of 2. Am I reading this correct? Our
Yes,
leading point guard with the 5-2 assist to turnover ratio. Man, that translates into us having that impressive, or we could say normal, average turnover count for the whole season. Iba yung pagkamama ni JD ngayon. Iba yung pagka-gutom niya in terms of leading the team and getting the wins. Parang kitang-kita niya yung pagka-veterano niya ngayon. Like if he were to be compared to the other point guards, top point guards in the UAP, parang he's leading by a mile compared to the others. So hopefully this continues for us because he's been really, to those who haven't noticed, he's been really big, both literally and figuratively sa team natin ngayon. Iba yung ni JD. The leadership, the stats speak for itself. But then again, the intangibles that normal people don't see is also there for a JD Gulan right now. how we see it. So yeah, tama. If you look at this, it's JD and Francis, our top two players at least for the preseason. And after that, medyo halu-halu na. Okay, but then these two guys have been the most consistent at least for the preseason. And one once if ever one of these two get sidelined or ma-injure, wag naman sana, we are gonna feel it, the impact that they will lose if they're not on the team in the coming games. Am I correct, Lance?
Yes, sir. At least talking about Francis and Mai Mai, very notable din yung ano, given the amount of given in leading scorer, so you'd expect that they're taking pretty much most of the shots per game. And to kung tingnan niyo yung field goal percentage ng dalawa, they're both averaging above 40. And as a player who takes that amount of shots, ang laking tulong na you're making that many as well.
Yeah.
Na 35%, that's decent. That's a normal stat. So to average more than 40 at given the volume of shots that they take, that's huge if you can keep that consistently, especially pagdating na ng UAAP season mismo. And kita mo naman si Mai Mai, you can see na ano, he's that ano younger Mai Mai, more on ano, like mas dadan pa rin sa bilis and all, na he already had that point guard point guard brain, na he knows how to run the offense well. Pero yun nga, gaya ng sabi ni Fim, it's a different Mai Mai we're seeing right now, na you can see the years of experience he has. He's able to translate and even impart yung knowledge niya sa game to his teammates. That you see how he creates for others, and pag kailangan, he knows how to create. He's very capable of creating for himself. And yeah, and kay Francis naman, kailangan pa ba nating sabihin na magaling siyang scorer? Na yeah, like overall he's a good scorer, na pagdating sa sa shooting wise, na is may room pa rin for improvement. Pero man, just keep shooting. Keep shooting, they're gonna fall. Kasi pag di mo tinira, talagang di ka makashoot, di ba?
Yep. He's been making them. So
Yes, sir. Yeah, these are the guys, along with Jerry as well. These are the guys na we're gonna live and die by their makes or misses, and we couldn't care less as long as they're the guys creating.
to add to that, Francis is our leading scorer as well as our leading rebounder. In terms of 3-point shooting, the most made 3-pointers for the preseason was made by Jerry Abadiano. Man, look at that improvement. From since 84, actually. This is the Jerry Abadiano that we know from the juniors. And hopefully he gets to dominate 87. This is how he did in the juniors with the Bullpups. Up next in terms of 3-point shooting, makakilala nito, Harold Alarcon. Medyo dikit lang.
Parang di ko kilala yan.
Medyo dikit lang sila ni dikit lang sila ni Jerry. Jerry made 14, Harold made 13, but still Jerry had a higher percentage. And up next from Harold, check this out, yo. Our guy, Chico Briones, with 10 made 3-pointers in the whole of preseason. Let's just give a shout out to Chico. No? When CJ Cancino left after 87, we had a void in the gap na sino yung instant offense na papasok once CJ Cantino graduates. Sino yung papalit doon sa atin? And early on, we've been seeing Chico Briones getting that load, getting that role when CJ left, no? So that instant offense has been very, very effective with Chico coming off the bench. Minsan even starting the games. Minsan we see Chico starting the game. So if Chico consistently does this, for sure, marami siyang papahirapan na teams with his type of play. And what's good about this as well is he's also contributing now to the defensive schemes of the team. So that two-way player coming off the bench, something that we really, really need. And shout out to you, Chico. Keep on grinding, and we need that type of effort from you. Yo. Okay. Ano ba? Sino isa? May isa pa pala. Ano, sorry. Yeah. Apparently, si Francis na yung next. Then Maymay. Then, for 3-point shooting, ah.
Mhm.
And you guys know the rest of the Aldous Torculas who's been playing amazing. Once Francis sits down, Aldous comes in and pretty much does the same impact as Francis has been doing. So yeah, we still are deep. We still are a deep team, but we have a long way to go still if you want to reclaim that championship in 87. So let's leave it at that for the UP team. Haven't really achieved anything yet. Nice to see some improvements, but what we have to point out here as well is there are still a lot of weaknesses in our team, especially the injuries. I mean, ever since 84, grabe talaga yung impact na binibigay ng injuries natin. So if the player isn't there, how can he contribute to the team? So talagang, but what's good is at least we still have others who can step up and uh replace that injured player. So again, next man up mentality, and these boys have the best teachers for them to implement those mindsets. Okay, yun. Lance, what can you say? Finally, close it out for UP.
Yeah. We're still a very deep team na yung mga nawala man sa team, like yeah, we may have lost big names, pero still looking, if you look at our lineup on paper, ang dami pa rin talagang talented players up until the last guy on the bench. And especially yung mga key acquisitions, sila Gani Stevens, sino pa? Si Denzel Walker,
Baila.
si Jacob Baila, yes, and si Ray Remogat, very literal na ulit. Parang it's gonna be a while till the next rebuild, assuming na we get to keep these players. And there's still we have a lot of time before before UAP starts. So especially looking at that yung final game ng Phil Oil, you saw a really bad first half na apart from yung medyo malas lang din yung iba, na we were getting to our spots na unfortunately shots just weren't falling. Pero there were also several moments na may miscommunication between the players. Daming passes na hindi nakatingin yung receiver, na which pretty much built that momentum that LaSalle had in the first half. Na fortunately na flip natin yung script ng second half. Na that second half was shades of that championship UP team, na everybody's running, everybody's crashing the boards, and talking about boards, talking about rebounds. I have a strong feeling that that's gonna be huge this coming season, given iba na yung ano. Last year, we had Malik who's capable of just tipping the ball to himself, given his length. Now we have our FSAs, at least for now, si Odudo. Not as big as your usual FSA, not as long, pero he's got that strength na ang napapansin kong ginagawa na nila, si Kingsley, siya yung manunulak, siya yung magbo-box out, pero ang kuha ng bola si Francis, which is evident. Kita mo naman, leading rebounder natin si Francis for this preseason cup. So it's not your usual na, no, given yun nga, smaller FSA as compared to Malik. So that's gonna be, I think rebounding is gonna be huge, especially given that we also have Sean Alter and Danny Stevens to rotate dun sa center spot na big guys na capable of banging bodies na yeah, they're gonna be really they're gonna have that really huge contributory effect on how our games are going to how on the result of our games na on how they control the tempo of the game by securing all the rebounds and all.
Yep. That is preseason for y'all, everyone. Again, what we saw in the past few tournaments doesn't really translate to what's gonna happen in 87. So let's put as UP fans, I can't speak for the other schools. Let's put this behind us and look forward to what's at hand at 87 and hopefully just pray and keep on wishing the team good luck and keep on improving as together as a team. Kasi again, the support will not be faltering. Hindi mawawala yung UP community in terms of supporting the team. Dito lang tayo palagi. And yeah, hopefully the team keeps on improving and just brings back the title back to Diliman as we all wish. No? So again, that's it. Yo, see you guys soon. Lance, see you soon.
Sir, yes sir.
That happen still for all teams come season 87 in September.